I want to be very honest with you. The average Nigerian man or woman, they are all greedy. You see somebody that comes to this country just today. He wants to buy a house in Nigeria tomorrow. So he's ready to pay work Monday to Sunday just to pay the bill here and also be buying a land
building a mansion in
Nigeria.
Hi guys, you are welcome to another interesting episode of Freedom of Speech. If you are joining us for the first time, you are absolutely welcome. Here is a safe space where we'll talk about anything and everything. And to our returning subscribers, we love you from the deepest part of our hearts. We are honored to have you this week. In the studio with me today is Mathias. Mr. Mathias, how are you doing today?
I'm fine.
His business and everything.
Business is fine.
You're welcome to the studio.
Okay.
We have another gentleman with me in the studio today, and his person is Rob. Rob, you are welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome again.
Thank you. Second
Freedom
time.
of speech.
Good. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, how have you been?
I'm all right. It's been a hectic one, but I'm good.
How are you feeling? Tell us how you're feeling.
I'm glad to be here.
You are glad to be here.
I'm happy to see these beautiful people. So.
Yeah, we are happy to see you too.
You're welcome.
Yes. The topic we're going to be talking about today is actually it's a relaxing topic. It's something you can learn from based on the caliber of people we have in the studio today. Yes, we're going to talking about balancing your work life and your social life. You know, we'll go about working, especially those of us in the UK that are not in Nigeria, working. And sometimes some people don't even know where to draw the line, when you get tired and when you need to leave a little. So, Mr. Mathias, as a businessman, how do you balance work and social life?
Okay, nice. I've been coming to UK for a long time.
Okay.
But for the past 3 years, I said since 3 years ago, I decided to focus fully to stay in UK.
UK, yeah.
But I just realized that initially when I was coming and going, I used to tell myself I can't stay in UK because I just felt because of the social life in UK does not actually meet up with my social life. And somebody said, why? I said, because, for example, 2015, I went to America. I went to see if my nephew in America is a medical doctor in New Jersey. While I was there, I went to have fun.
Yeah.
So I went to New Jersey and he left me at his home residence and went to work. You can't believe that he left me at home. First day, second day, third day, he will come back from work maybe around 11, 12 midnight.
Whoa.
So and after 5 days, I told myself, is this what I came to do in America? I said, this is not life.
Yeah.
So I realized that when I came like 4 years ago to see him again, because my wife had a baby there in America and I had to come. My wife was staying in this place, so I had to come. I left my wife and my nephew and I went to Vegas. And somebody said, what happens in Vegas remains in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas.
Okay.
And I told my wife, if I stay in this house, I will have some mental problem. Because nobody comes to visit them. We just stay in the house morning till night. And just go to the mall and back. I said, this is not life. So I now realized that after I came back from Vegas, we came back to Nigeria, me and my wife and the baby. So later on, we relocated back to UK. What I'm just trying to bring this digression is like, because I realized that I used to tell myself, I cannot stay in UK because of the social life. Everybody work.
Yeah, everybody's working.
Then in America, when it's even bad in America because I have friends in America. Like I went to see in Los Angeles, and he was doing 3 jobs.
Whoa, that's a lot.
And I'm saying from the honest opinion of
Yeah.
my, and I stayed in this place for 2 weeks. I couldn't even see him one day.
Wow.
So after 2 weeks, I asked him, how do you balance your life? He said, he has 3 jobs, he has bills to pay. So I just relaxed. But I told myself, in my subconscious mind, that this is not life.
Yeah.
If I continue like this, somebody will just break down. So that's why I didn't stay back in America. So when I decided to stay back in UK, I stayed because of my family. They have intention of stay. My wife and my kids insisted I have to stay. So I had to stay behind. That was 3 years ago. I decided to stay fully. The first issue was I had to start to work. Because I'm a businessman from Nigeria.
From Nigeria.
I usually sell cars in Nigeria and I do clearing and forwarding. And I said, how will I become? I'm a private person. I'm a business person coming to be as a worker, come to work for, become an employee. So I just felt, let me just try it if it could work out. So I went, the first work I got was care. So I had to work, I had to go for the training for care, how to use the equipment to lift the people up from the bed. And the first day I started the job, I just couldn't cope because I just couldn't cope with the job.
Yeah.
And it was actually affecting my mental health.
Yeah, it's really tasking.
In the midst of the shift, I found that I just couldn't take this shift. To cut the story short, I later on left the job, went back to do a course of mental health. After finishing the course of mental health, I got a job as care support worker.
Okay.
I realized that the care support worker was 2 to 1. And most of the time, the people who are supposed to take care of all these abused us, verbal insults, even physical insults.
Oh.
And I just realized that, wow, will I continue in this space?
Wow.
And to make it worse, is like sometimes my Saturday, I always have it to myself. I'm selfish to
Okay.
myself. Every Saturday, I take care of myself.
Okay.
I go to clubbing, just go to social engagement on Saturday. Then Sunday, I don't negotiate Sunday. Sunday is for my time to go to church. But this particular time, I felt like I left that agency, started on that agency.
Yeah.
The other agency I started even gave me a tempting offer by saying that they will give me they call it living
Yeah.
job. And I said, what am I living? You said I have to be staying there. One particular day, I can't remember, my wife and my kids came to visit me in that where I was doing living. And I just came outside to hug my daughter and my son. And I felt this is not life.
Yeah.
So that day, I just told myself, I'm not going to work this job again. So that was how I started a company of mine, because I need to get time for myself. And because when I was even doing the living, I was not going to church because I was working on Saturday and Sunday.
A Sunday,
Working on
yes.
every day. You work like 7 days a week.
Okay.
So until when the person you are supposed to be taking care of sleeps before you can even sleep.
Sleep.
So at the end of the day, I just felt my mental health was not getting better.
Yeah.
So I had to move from where I was living in North Harrow. I moved into southeast to Elephant and Castle so that I can be around people.
People that.
Because I realized one day I was just sitting down I was just in a social, it was a club, it was a pub, and I found myself talking to myself. And I said, are you sure this is life? How will I? There was nobody where I was staying, Harrow, not Harrow. There was nobody no black no person of my color in that environment. And I said, can I continue this same environment? So when I moved into Southwest and to Southeast, I decided to, because I built on relationship.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up earlier in life, I realized that money don't make you wealthy. It's a relationship that makes you wealthy.
Yes, true,
Yep.
true, very true.
How you build your relationship with people makes you a successful person in life.
Yes.
So I realized that because I went in Nigeria, I sell cars. Also here in UK, I also sell cars.
Oh.
But I realized that when I sell cars, I also do servicing for the people.
Yeah.
One of my clients, when they have problems with their vehicle, I would go extra mile to see how I can be there for them. So I realized that if I sell a car to Mr. A, I want to get 5 persons customer from that Mr. A, because I didn't go to school just to sell cars.
Yeah.
I felt like it's your relationship with people that matters.
That matters.
So I tried to build a relationship.
Yeah.
But because of somehow, as I realized I couldn't do the care work, I couldn't do the support work, I had to form a company, which is a logistics company who deals on with cargo and shipping. And I just said to myself, it's better for me, for my own space, my own mental health to be better.
Yes.
So sorry to cut you back to where I was saying about the social media.
Yeah.
But I just felt it's easier for me if I have a job, I'm working for myself, I can have time for to have my social.
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask.
engagements.
That's exactly what I wanted to
Okay.
ask. So I wanted to say, are you saying that it's easier for you to maintain a healthy social life when you have your own personal business rather than working for somebody?
Beautiful. It's better to have, when you're working for yourself, you're happier, you're happy, you have space for yourself, you have time to go out, interact with friends.
Yeah.
And because I somebody asked me one day, why do you always go to party every Saturday and Sunday? I said, Sunday after church, I still go to parties.
Yeah.
Sometimes on Friday, I still go to club.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said, but now you're a Christian. Why do you go to club? I said, because I interact with people in club just to get new clients. So that's my also work. I am
You are
catching
working.
fun.
I'm still working.
I'm also working.
Yeah.
That's good.
And it's convenient. It's convenient for me to work and make something for myself.
Yeah.
So it's easier for you to work for yourself. You have a better mental health than when you're working for a company.
Somebody. Yeah.
Because sometimes you can work in an environment where somebody will become a bully to you.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
but I realized that I was actually happy. Even though I don't make much, because the company just is a going concern.
Yeah.
Just started like about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We're trying to build our clientele level. But since like it's still better.
Yeah.
I'm mentally stable.
Yeah, huh?
I'm happy.
True.
I have time for myself.
Yeah.
I have time to go and to play with my kids.
Yes.
And say hi to people, my friends. So it's easier for me. But when I was working, so I am happy for that I'm working for myself. It's better for me to work for myself than to be working for a company. And it determines when sometimes they just insist. Sometimes I could remember one particular day I had a party on Saturday, my friend's wedding, and I worked the previous nights, Friday nights, till Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Somebody was supposed to take over for me. The person didn't come.
Wow.
And you can't believe that I didn't go. I didn't attend my best friend's wedding.
That's
because
so nice
I was in a supposed to be 12-hour shift, end up doing 24-hour shift.
Oh.
And I just felt this is not life. And secondly, no matter how you do in this world, you must create a balance in your life.
Yeah.
Try
true.
to create a time to have fun for yourself. Not necessarily. And let me say, okay, I'm not a conservative person. I'm a super extrovert.
I can see.
I'm a super extrovert.
I can
and
see.
if I don't, At the time, sometimes if I don't make friends, at every day I must make 2 friends.
Yeah.
Last 3 years, I was checking, like 2 days ago, I was checking my contact in my phone. I realized I have over 5,000 contacts in my phone.
Wow. That's a lot.
So
That's a lot.
I realized that I'm still making more friends.
Yeah.
And it's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I have to leave where I was doing before, and sometimes I just sat there down. If I walk from the bus stop to the next bus stop, how are you doing? Hope you're fine. It makes me have healthy mental health.
Yeah.
But when you, let me come back to my levels and just say, this country, if you are not careful, you just run mad.
Yes. I agree
You
with
just
you.
run mad. And sometimes you just find out that people that you don't even expect. At my age, I find like my friends are at my age, I see them sometimes, they are like twice older than me.
Yes.
Because they are working
Every
Monday to Sunday. At the
They
same
don't
time,
rest.
and they don't even balance their bills.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you. So, but sometimes if you work, you play. You work, you play. You balance that life.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I was in Nigeria, I never had the word they call depression. I never had of that word.
How
depression.
can you be depressed in Nigeria? Can
I've
somebody really be
never-
depressed in Nigeria though?
I've never had that word depression. And I find out that I came to this country and I felt I had the word depression.
You experienced.
And I experienced it myself.
Yep.
I saw it in my colleague. And I said, no, I can't be in this position. I was even about to go back to Nigeria because this is not life until God creates opportunity for me to have my own company.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have my own company, I would have gone back to Nigeria. Because that mental health job was actually, and I realized that most of my friends that were doing the job, they are also behaving like the people they're taking care of.
Yes.
They have, okay, let me say, when I was working in Nigeria, I've never been angry in my life. Since I was born, I've never fought. I've never been physically abused somebody, or I was in was argument with somebody. I would let it go.
Yeah.
But I find that most of my friends, things that don't even make, something you don't even talk about. You just see they just raise up issues on what happened. You didn't greet me yesterday, and for that reason they just escalate that matter up.
Yeah.
And they just say, because you didn't greet me yesterday, I will not talk to you. It's when I got to UK, I find that I'll block you.
Yeah.
If you don't talk to me, I'll block you. If you come to my house and talk to me now, I block you. But in Nigeria, I never had something like
things.
blocking. Because if you want to block somebody, person, what's wrong with you? Say, hey, stay in your house now. Also in UK, I realized that somebody will say, when you come into my house, call me. Oh. I said, you know, I'm happy to say I won't call your house. You be happy to say I call your house. But what's wrong with you? You won't
Call
give me.
me.
You won't give me million. You're not feeding me or clothing me. I just felt
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to interact with friends.
Yes.
Make yourself happy.
True. Very true.
Yep.
Yesterday was Wednesday. We were watching match in my place, and I had to call like 4 of my friends. We were watching the football match, and Arsenal was playing, and we were all shouting, making fun. Everybody was.
Yeah.
We ate, we laughed.
That's
And
nice,
somebody was supposed to go for night duty. He said he was so happy that he doesn't want to even go for night duty again. That I let them take the job and go away. That this environment is
Yes.
making him so much
Yeah.
happy. So I just felt sometimes make a balance. Try to have make evaluation of your mental health at any time in your life.
Yes.
If you're working and you check yourself, you don't have time to see friends, family, and you now say, this is not life. It's not life. You can't just work, and you just collapse one day and that's the end of the world. So, but personally, I make sure that every Saturday and every Sunday, I have time for myself. I work Monday to Friday on flexible appointment.
Yeah.
So because I work for myself, I put in my all my effort to it. So my work even at midnight.
Okay.
So because it's my work,
It's
I
your
create
job.
when I
Yeah.
want to work for myself.
Yeah.
But my Saturday and Sunday, I give it to myself. I take care of myself. And
That's
it makes
good.
me I have myself better evaluation of my mental health and better.
Yeah.
So I think I'll prefer to still work for myself if I have to come to the next world again.
That's very good. Thank you. Thank you very much for all you've said. So, Rob,
Yeah.
have you been able to strike a balance between your social life and your work life? Or you're still struggling like me?
I guess I'm still struggling like everyone in the UK. Like social life and work life in the UK is a bit daunting, where you have to go to work every day, and obviously this place is not our home, so our social life is a little bit restricted because we have things we could do and things we can't really do.
Yeah,
But
true.
I've found my own personal balance. I've tried to find my own personal balance. Like weekends, I always try to go out with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Like we try to do something in the weekend and have our fun. Then Sundays we go to church. So we find I find my own time to have fun with the people I love and the people I care about, because it's very important. If you don't strike that part, you're losing one. You cannot
true.
allow your work to overtake your social life. You're gonna lose, and you cannot allow your social life to overtake your work. There's a saying while growing up, they say all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you have to play and work. You'll be fine.
Oh, okay. So, to what extent should we play?
You have to play. You have to play, but obviously not so much, because if you're playing with money too. So
I'm telling you.
It's England. If you breathe, you're paying for it. But at the end of the day, you have to play and you have to work. You just have to find the balance that works for you. Some people work. Everyone has different style of working in the UK. Some work nights, some work day. You just have to. Anyone that works for you, you have to craft it in that way position yourself.
There's this thing I always see online anytime I'm on TikTok. People keep saying there is no love in the UK, there is no love in the UK. And some people will be like, how will you see love in the UK when you keep picking shifts?
Yeah.
When you keep picking shifts.
There's these people that say that there's love in the UK. There is love in sometimes too. I think we are, as Nigerians, because we came down, we have that guilt that want to make money, make money.
Yes,
and
true.
Sometimes it's like you have to relax and have fun for yourself, because if you're looking for money, at the end of the day, one day you will go. When you're old, you will not be thinking of, oh, I wish I worked more. I wish that you'll be thinking about, I wish I had more fun. So you have to really go out, have fun with your friends. I even have a social club I formed there.
Okay.
Where people come together to have fun. We all have fun together. We discuss, we share ideas, because it's not all work. Go. If you leave your job today, your job will employ a new person.
True.
There are times where we are working with someone and someone passed away, and next 3 days they have advertised the role.
3 days they will call somebody to come and cover the shift that same day.
Advertising the role, and you're like, at the end of the day, you have to prioritize yourself, because if you don't, listen, UK will not prioritize you. So prioritize yourself, guys.
Okay, Mr. Mathias, how do you? I know you're a very busy man.
Yes.
You're a very busy man. Yes, I know you're a very fun person, based on what you said earlier, and you're actually a very busy man. So, how do you do family and your work and business?
Okay, let me give you a typical example. By the time I was working, initially I was not into business. I was feeling my ability to take my son to play football.
Yeah.
But now I have opportunity to take my son to go and play football.
Okay.
So I sometimes on Tuesday and Thursdays, they will go for training. Then Saturday, they have a match to play on Saturday. So those 3 days in a week, I must give to my son now.
Okay.
But when I was working, I didn't have one of those things to give to him, because I was working.
Yeah.
And there's just one particular okay, let me say, I went to a party 2 weeks ago with one of my older friend. He's been in UK for 40 years.
Wow.
And both of us went to the party together. And when we came back, he confessed to me that he has not been to party for 12 years.
Oh.
This is the first time he's going to a
For
party
12 years?
For 12 years.
Wow.
And he's in his 60s. He's not married.
What?
He lives in a 2-bedroom duplex, lives alone. Nobody comes to visit
Sorry
him.
to cut you. Is it
Yes.
that is his choice not to get married? That's what he wants,
Because he's happy like that.
or okay.
But I feel very well like, how will you just be like, this is not life? But I just find that not only him, I do random sampling. When I go out things, as I make friends, I try to find out, why are you just not married? When they will tell you that story, is one of my friend is married, didn't get it right, so I will not do that, take that route also again. But sincerely speaking, at first, love is beautiful.
Yeah.
And the only good thing about UK, I can tell you, in UK is it creates time for family to bond.
Yeah.
When I was in Nigeria, I didn't have time to even carry my son or my daughter. But when I came to UK, you find that it creates opportunity for you to, as you start playing with your baby, you start bonding together. That's a good aspect of it. But the emphasis is like, me, I feel very well like most of the time, UK makes you to just be you, your family alone.
Yes.
No third party.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes without a third party, how your social life will not be balanced. Because I'm saying this, I'm having a wife at home and I see her every day. And I don't have opportunity to see a friend I've known for like 30 years. The night he's in town, you can't even have the time. If you're working, you can't even, because you already program your mind 5 days shift, 6 days shift.
Yeah.
Even though your best friend is getting married, some of the jobs, sometimes you want to cancel the shift, they will not allow you.
True.
Because I have an online incident where I needed to be somewhere on a particular Sunday because we're doing a very interesting program in the church. And I told my agency that I'm not going to work this Sunday because I have a very big role to play in the church on Sunday. And they told me that if I don't come to work on that Sunday, that I should forget about being a work. I should forget about working with the agency after that day. I said, is it a threat? He said, yes, I'm just telling you the truth.
Oh.
So and I realized that, sincerely speaking, I didn't take the shift and I canceled the shift. After that day, they removed me from the rota. So I found out that for almost like 2 weeks, they didn't call me. I tried to call them back. I found out they are not picking my calls. So I just felt, how will you, because of you have to pay your bills, you will just be fully involved in the job, and the job that is supposed to play, to work, to have time for family. I have friends that both of them are married, and my friend that is married, the wife is going to work while he's coming in.
Yeah. Oh, like one is going and the other one is coming.
And they exchange from the bus stop.
Wow.
Because that bus that brought him
is the one that will take the wife.
Take the wife. And once the one is coming in the morning, he's taking the husband out.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, and they do it like that sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week.
Whoa.
Is that life?
The thing is it the system in the UK? Because I know there are people in Nigeria that they work, they still have time to go for parties, for family, for friends. Is it the system, or is the people, the mindset you come into the country with, that you want to make money?
I want to be very honest with you. The average Nigerian man or woman or lady, they are all greedy. In the sense that you see somebody that comes to this country just today, He wants to buy a house in Nigeria tomorrow.
Sure.
So he's ready to pay work Monday to Sunday just to pay the bill here and also be buying a land
Building a mansion
in Nigeria. A friend of mine, I like to give examples and makes it easy. A friend of mine, the wife she's a matron, and she was working. She works 7 days a week. She also do living in the care home, and she's a matron. She doesn't even go to go and see the husband, all because she has finished paying her mortgage here in UK. Oh. She bought a house in Lekki, and this new housing system where you pay every month 5 million.
Yeah.
So the 5 million
service charge,
she pays every month 5 million to keep the payment for 2 years, and because she's paying 5 million every month, she was working Monday to Sunday 24/7.
But you can work like that and you're not even alive to even stay in the houses.
Last year, she finished paying the house in Lekki just in June. She slept in July. She didn't wake up.
She slept. Wow. Whoa.
So the house she has now bought in Lekki, the 2 kids she has here, they are lawyers. They are not even interested in going
to Nigeria.
To make it worse, the husband, because she died, she was like the breadwinner of the house. Yeah. The husband couldn't, after like 2 months after, the husband died also.
Whoa.
This is a true life story. These are my very good friends. But anytime I tell them that you have to balance work, social life cannot be party self.
Yes,
it must not be party, yeah.
Same with your friends, gisting, talking, playing, watching football is fun.
Yeah, true.
Somebody will tell you where I was working before that, if I'm working on a 12-hour shift and somebody's calling that, I'm sorry, I'll be late. The person that is working with me will tell me, please, even that, don't even come. If like not even come at all, we'll continue the shift.
24 hours shift.
And I said, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Because they are used to that for every morning. Okay, let me digress somehow. That is very funny. I invited a friend for a party from Birmingham last week. In our friends doing 50th last week. And I invited a close friend of mine to come from Birmingham because we've not seen for a long time. The guy said that Saturday he will be working. But if I can pay his shift money,
can imagine
that he will come. And I said, I'm going to take you out. I'm giving you opportunity for you to come from Birmingham to come and experience happiness. And you're asking me. I said, okay, I'll pay for your train ticket. He said, no, the shift is more important than the social activity. And that's how UK has put some people into, they have enslaved some people in their mind that you'll be amazed to see. Some people will never go to party, will never go to church, because they want to get that shift money.
Okay.
And when you think about it, let me be honest with you, the government is not to be blamed.
No, I know.
Because I've seen the government, most of the whites, the people there that we met here, sometimes they give them 3 days shift.
Yes, 37 hours, and that's it.
And they're okay with it.
And they're okay. They don't need extra shift. They don't want extra
3 hours, 3 days shift in a week. Guess what? They still create time for vacation for their family.
Yes, of course.
But Nigerians will not go for vacation.
Paid leave, they don't go for paid leave. They don't even go for paid leave.
So you find that it has to do with the mind. In average, the husband and the wife, they are both greedy. Okay, let me shock you the one that's even funny in the UK now. That I realized the wife is working extra shift. The man is not aware. The wife had bought a land in Nigeria.
Okay.
Building. The husband is not aware. The husband is also doing the same thing. The wife is
Was
not
not
aware.
aware.
So you find out that they take all these extra shifts just to keep the bills in Nigeria, to keep the comfort in Nigeria. And guess what? They are enslaving themselves.
Yeah.
No family life.
Nothing.
You find that if you find that most of, even in the Southeast, is even worse than Southeast, because I'm just be honest with you, because in Southeast you find that most of the kids, if you wait, you see a 15-year-old boy or a 15-year-old lady roaming around the street after school hours, she or he, they are not even going home.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody they're going
Parents
home
are
to see.
at home. Yeah.
So one day I in Elephant, Tower Bridge, I saw one boy. The boy should be like 13 years. And I stopped him. I said, this is 11 ago. What are you doing outside by this time? He said, my dad and mommy had gone to work. So if they've gone to work, I have opportunity to come outside and be finding something to do for myself. I said, like, doing what? He said, I find out to go and just catch some fun somewhere else. And I said, how will you now bring, in the morning when they are coming back from work, the boy is going to school. So how do you now bring an healthy family in that situation?
That situation, yeah.
Because all they're telling you is bills. They want to pay the bills, But in Nigeria system, we are privileged that you have to pay your rent once in a year.
Yeah.
So it helps us, once you've paid your rent, the rest money is for Faji. Enjoyment.
True.
What they call Faji is enjoyment. And Nigeria is the best place anybody can live.
Yes.
I can't lie to you, it's the best place anybody can live.
I agree with you.
Because I'm just be honest with you.
With money though.
Let me be honest with you, there are people in Nigeria that has no job and they are still happy. I'm be honest with you. You see somebody that is living in UK here, he's thinking, let me give you an example. I like to use example to
Explain.
explain myself.
Yeah.
There's a lady I was talking to one day, and she said she's paying total bill after tax and everything comes about 1,700, and that's the money she takes home. And her rent, she has 2 kids. She's a single mother. She has 2 kids, and her rent is 1,800. So the government help her with like 50% of the rent. By the time she pays 50% of the rent, the discount period of the rent, she has like £700. By the time she pay for her let me say, a vehicle and what they call some other bills in the house, she has nothing to follow.
Fall back on.
So I asked her, I said, okay, let me ask some question. Do you think because your money cannot pay your bills, that's why you're working 7 days a week? He said, yes. I said, okay, now you're working 7 days a week. Do you still pay your bills? She said she's still behind in her bills. So you find out that most of the things, not because when she was talking, she didn't know I was smarter than what she was telling me. I've looked beyond the line. She was making more than that money because she was paying a finance for her vehicle. She was paying the house. She was paying some lessons for the children after school. So she must have semester money to pay all those money. But I realized that when I get close to her, I realized that she was actually building a house in Nigeria.
Okay.
Now you are a single mother. The time you're supposed to take time to bond with your children.
Yes.
Your boy, the boy is like 6 years. The girl is 9 years. The 9-year-old girl is babysitting
the 6-year-old.
The 6 years old.
Wow.
Once at night when she goes to work. And I asked her, you're just playing with some risk in this place. If the government got to know about it, they'll take these children from you. And they'll give it back to the father. Because I just tried to narrate it to understand that it's more better when there's a balance in your life,
Yes.
you work, play, get time for family, get time for friends, get time for social interaction. This is summer coming. A lot of UK
Lot
is
of fun.
beautiful
In the summer, yeah.
UK is beautiful in summer, and it's beautiful in the sense that you have so many places to go. If you are lack of where to go, contact me. I'll give you a place to go.
You've heard. If you don't have a place to go in the UK, Mr. Mathias is here for you.
Yes,
just
yes.
give me holla at him. Holla at him. And I'll be there for you. So you spoke about working for yourself, how you started working for yourself, doing your business. That's when you had time for family and everything. Does that mean that when you're working for somebody, it's difficult to create that work and social life balance?
Let me give you that. It's not possible if I leave home by 8 o'clock. I'm working supposed to resume by 8 o'clock. I was living in Tower Bridge. I was working in Stansted airports. Now I'll wake up by 6 o'clock when the kids are still sleeping. I'll get to work by 8 o'clock. I close by 8 o'clock. I'll get home by 10:30. My two kids are already sleeping. Now, sometimes it happens like this. This occurrence happens Monday till Sunday. Now, my wife will go and pick them. My wife also works. She leave the work to go and pick them from school. Then try to stay with them. But let me be honest with you, even when you look straight into your spouse, you feel like she's not happy. Because by the time, sometimes when you come back by 10:30, she's far, far, far gone. The kids are gone. Then you have to prepare your dinner yourself. And initially, when I came to UK, I didn't have tummy. I didn't have tummy, but now you could say I have tummy. I have tummy now, but not as big as that because I work. That time I was working for somebody. I was not working for myself. When I get home by 10:30, before I will eat my dinner, maybe around 11, sometimes I've just finished eating, I'll just go and sleep.
Yeah, because it's late
There's
already.
no digestion taking place in my system. And in the morning, off I go. Sometimes I won't miss the train. I'll come by bus. I'll get home by 1 a.m. And guess what? I'm leaving home by 5 o'clock in the morning. And I will do it for a whole week.
That's a lot.
So you find like you don't even talk about family is the list of points in your mind.
Yeah.
But once you work for yourself, you create time. There's a balance in your mind. You're working for yourself, you create a balance for yourself. But once you're working for somebody, the person determines your happiness. So, but at the same time, I still feel I'm happy now. That's me. I'm selfish. I'm happy.
Okay.
Very happy that I have time for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Mr. Rob,
Yeah, hello.
those of us that are still working for people that we've not gotten to
I've not gotten there yet.
Mathias Keda. So how do we strike a balance?
I feel it's very important and it's tough because everyone has different situations and sometimes it's from a point of privilege. We stay and say, oh, you're working 7 days, but we don't know what they are going through and why they have to work those long hours. But for those that don't have to work those long hours, I feel you should really create time for yourself. It's not always easy, but if you work, so in the UK, everyone has different schedules. But look at your working schedule and plan. Okay, I work 5 days a week, or I work 4 days a week, or I work 3 days or 6 days. This one day, I will do this. I will try to have fun. I will try to do. There are loads of things to do in the UK. As well, we that in London, there's loads to do. So I feel you should really look at your timetable and plan. And sometimes why most people work is not because they want to. I feel sometimes it's just financial illiteracy. Like they don't know how to prioritize their money. That's why I don't see why anybody will work. Obviously, different cases. Not everyone is in the same situation, but
Yeah.
I don't see why anyone should work from Monday to Sunday. If you're planning your finances very well, and I know it's tough here, I'm not trying to undermine
Yeah,
that.
it's tough.
Here,
It's
but
tough.
if you
Yeah.
plan your finances very well, you don't need to work from Monday to Friday. Even the taxes, they will take all everything
all
will
your
go in
money.
taxes.
Yes.
So you have to just plan it well. Try to plan. So if you walk at the end of it, like the lady that you're talking about,
Yes,
she left everything and she's gone.
Yeah.
So God forbid, we don't want that to happen to us, but working 7 days, working 6 days, I feel the best. Sometimes you can work 6 days. It depends on your situation, but every day, 24 hours, no. You have to strategically plan. Or I have these days for work, I have these days for myself. That's the best way to live. It will give you a longer life, I would say.
Beautiful.
So, Rob,
Yep.
I want to ask you this. Do you think I'm talking about the immigrants now
Yep.
in the UK? Do you think them let's say scaling up when it comes to scale up in skill and
Yeah.
academics
Yeah.
to make them get a better paying job,
yeah.
will help them in creating this work balance and
Obviously, more finances would lead to more social and life balance. It's there, but yes, we want to scale up, and it's good to aim higher, but it's not always about scaling up. Sometimes the more you go up in some career ladder, the more
More the
time
bills.
the more, not even the more bills, the more time it takes of you. Some jobs, they can pay you loads of money, but you don't have time for yourself. So it's not really about the job you're doing, it's just priorities. If you decide, I prioritize my family over, sometimes you have to sacrifice those jobs. Sometimes your job wants to give you a managerial position and you're like, it's good money, but it's going to take loads of my time I have to come to meetings early in the morning. I have to stay back. I have to travel. Sometimes you have to be like, no, I don't need that. I need to prioritize my family, me spending time with my family. It's just what's more important to you. I mean, I always say this to myself, like at the end of the day, when I'm leaving this world, when I'm going to look back, what am I going to think of? I'm going to think, did I spend more time with my kids, with my wife, with my parents, with the people I love. Rather than, did I make more? Obviously, it's good to make, it's good to make money.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to really prioritize, like, is more money over the people you love. So if you're making the money at the end of the day and you're not there, you're not enjoying it, what's it meant for? So you have to find a balance. Sometimes you have to do it for some time. Maybe you work 2 years, then you balance it. Okay, I've worked 2 years, I've saved, I've gotten what I want to do. Now it's time to relax. But you have to really look within yourself and strike that balance. It's not really about having more money. You can have more money and work 10 times harder.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. So now, in conclusion, we've said a lot. In conclusion, for those in Nigeria, we've talked mostly about people in the UK. For those in Nigeria looking forward to balance their work and their social life, how would they go about it? Because we know Nigeria is already bubbling enough. So somebody in Nigeria that is looking forward to balance their work and their social life, what do you think? What are those steps that do you think that the person should take in achieving this?
The Nigerian system is already in a sense balanced by itself, because the Nigerian system creates opportunity for, if my wife gives birth to a child, there's a naming ceremony coming up.
Yeah.
That naming ceremony, each of the people I invite will come with their own friends.
Okay.
And by so doing, as they are coming, even your own family people that are coming for the party, they cook their own food, bring to the party along.
True.
So the Nigerian system is already the work system and the work system and the social system also interact together. because you can hardly find people working on Sunday in Nigeria. But in UK, abroad generally, people work on Sundays.
Yep.
Yes.
In Nigerian system, there are two different systems we have to create. There are few people that works at night in Nigeria,
True.
but the abroad system creates opportunity. A lot of people work at night more than even daytime.
Yes.
So you find out that the system is not the same scenario. The system that was built in Nigeria was built for Nigerian system, and 8 to 5 jobs are mostly majority
common,
in the
yeah.
system.
Yes. Yes.
So after 5 o'clock, what you be doing at home? So most people work from Nigeria, even bankers, they close work by 5 o'clock. They will go and stay in a lounge.
Yeah.
They will say they want this traffic to go down. And guess what? They will stay in that lounge till by sometime 11 p.m. And they have a wife at home and the kids. And they will get home by 12 midnight and they'll still leave home in the morning. They're already used to it. The system already used to it like that.
Yeah.
But when you come to abroad, it's not like that. When you are in abroad, you realize when if you do 8 to 5 job, you create opportunity. Let me say in America now, most of my friends that do 8 to 5 job, once they close 8 to 5, by 5 o'clock they go and do Uber.
Yeah, multiple jobs.
Multiple streams of income. And second, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
even
it's
in the
not.
Garden of Eden, when God created Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
He gave the Garden of Eden have 4 streams of water nourishing the garden.
Yeah.
Means God expects you to have multiple sources of income, streams of income. So if you are abroad and you are in Nigeria, either in Canada, America, or UK, you must think outside the box. If you're working somewhere, create opportunity to look at the end results. Everybody wants to have his own business. You want to be a sole proprietor. You want to be a partnership business. You want to be an employer of labor. Before you be an employer of labor, you must try to make sure you interact well with people you want to sell your goods to.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be a businessman, you must look outside the box.
True.
You want to start, for example, a lounge business. You want to have an hotel. You must, before you open that hotel or open that lounge, either in Nigeria or abroad, you must have seen the end results. You must have gone ahead to start making friends that will patronize you. Before you establish those places, you must have start telling people, Rob, I want to open a club. I want to open a... Rob will tell somebody will tell somebody. You've not opened it. But your ability to tell the people that are around you, your family members, your wife, your spouse, your extended relations, or your siblings, everybody move along with your ideas. Because if you move along with it, say, okay, I don't want anybody to know I want to open a business. Say, because if the business doesn't work and somebody will laugh at me, you have actually failed.
Yep.
From the starting, you already failed. So, but I'm not saying that everybody must be a sole proprietor. Not everybody must be into business. Some people don't know how to take risk. If you're working somewhere and you're doing well, just try and create a balance for yourself. When you are less busy, try and find out what you like doing.
Yeah.
That gives you joy. That gives you that you can fuel your passion.
Yeah.
So everything, just try and see what are your passions. If you fuel your passions, it will help you out. You can see. Let me say other aspect in that. Most of the big time business in America, they are doing well because they are providing services. They are not into production. They are providing services. Once you try to solve people's problem, you have solved the world's problem.
Yeah.
Because once you find out that, there's a problem here, see Google. Somebody's going, I'm coming from my house to here. I don't need to ask anybody. I just need to go into Google. As I'm looking at Google is making, as I'm checking Google is making money. The moment I left my home, somebody is making money. Somebody has to provide the boss his services. So find out where you be valuable to society and try to create that passion, fuel that passion. If you do that, you will not be frustrated along the line. But at the same time, I will advise, if you are abroad, try to create other skills that will help you.
Yeah.
Because after the end of the road, the end of the tunnel, we'll all go back to where we're coming from.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you are abroad, either in Nigeria, either you are in UK, you're in Canada, or you're in America, put one thing in your mind. Be contented with what you have. No mansion. Don't go above your means, because you put yourself under undue pressure.
Yes.
And a lot of people are dying today in UK, in America, in Canada, because they put themselves inside that space.
No time to rest.
No time to rest, the bills. Somebody's doing a security job while he's standing in the front of Tesco. He's doing 12 hours standing.
Wow.
He's leaving that job by 12 hours. You know the body's weak.
Yes.
And he goes to another job again.
Whoa.
To go and stand again. And one day I now saw somebody I knew. I said, I saw you about 5 a.m. standing in front of Park Lane. He said, yes, that's where he works. I said, but I still see you're also working in Oxford Circle. He said that he combined both jobs together. I said, but you can be doing security in day. Find another city TV job to do at night.
Yeah.
Where you can sit down and rest your mind. He said, no, I take some once I'm standing, I can stand 24 hours, I will not bother. But guess what? One day, they rushed him home because he was standing and his feet could not hold him. He fell. Luckily for him, they held him.
Wow.
But if somebody was not there to hold him, he would have passed on.
Fall over, yeah.
So sometimes when you are doing a job, try to know when your capacity where it can take you up to.
Yeah.
Find out what it can take you up to. Do the ones your ability can take. And not everybody must be in abroad. If you are an immigrant, you are in Canada, you are in America, you are in Nigeria, you have seen the equilibrium points that, I can't take this pressure. My brother, my sister, I beg, go back home.
Okay. Oh.
There's a new name for it, Sakpa.
Okay, Sakpa is
going back. Nobody will destroy you. Nobody will crucify you. But when we were younger, they said if you travel abroad, when you're traveling abroad, you will not tell your siblings you are traveling because they can deport you. So when you are back, you will not tell anybody. But now, once you are back to Nigeria, nobody laughed at you because you didn't borrow anybody's money to go.
To go in the first place.
But if you're not making your ends meet while you're abroad, either you are in America, Canada, or UK, you're not making the bills. You're not making the bills, and you can't meet up your needs. And you have a gift, you have a talent you can give back there in Nigeria. There are people that lives in UK here that still apply for jobs in Nigeria.
Yes, I've seen.
And guess what? They still go back as expatriates.
Yeah.
So find out where you are, go where you are welcome, not where you are tolerated. So I appreciate if you are working in UK, you're working abroad, try and balance your life because you have just one life to live. You're working, try and balance life for the family, balance life for family, balance life for friends so that you can live long. Yeah. If you don't balance your social life with your work life, you will die. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mathias. Rob.
Hello.
Yeah, what do you have for us?
I would say your connection, your network is your net worth.
Okay.
So it's not all about work. It's, as we have said over and over again, the people you know and your social life is very important, and it's very important to build. Your kid need you, your family need you, you need you as well. So when you go out to work to get that money, please take a little bit of time to take care of yourself mentally. And it must not be extravagant. You can be into different things. You could go out for a walk. You could read a book, have a time to read a book.
Yeah.
You could watch movies. You could have drinks with friends. It must not be, party. It can be just taking having the time for yourself that, okay, today I will relax. No bills should disturb me. Nobody should disturb me. This is a me time for myself. And I think it will make your work even better, because if you're working every day, you'll be under pressure. You can't really be productive.
Yeah.
So when you create that time for yourself, you will work better, in my opinion. So as they say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you don't want to be a dull boy or a dull girl. So work and play. Thank you very much.
Yes, we've come to the end of another interesting episode of Freedom of Speech. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for all being so chatty and so informative and giving us so much information. Yes, so from everything I've learned today is work, rest, and socialize. Have fun. According to our Ghanaian brothers, have fun. Try and have fun, little fun. And thank you so much for staying tuned. Watch our videos, like, comment, and share. Turn on your notification bell to get a notification anytime we drop a new video. We've dropped a new video last week, Thursday. Please do well and watch. And also watch this episode too. See you again next Thursday. Bye.